This is the part of the podcast we're quiet for. Where we don't sing. It's really my favorite part.
Hello and welcome to the Benzo Rehab Dungeon, episode 90. It is the 6th of May, 2022. I'm your host, Michael Deebs, joined always by co-host Danko Suvin from the Instagram handle at DankTheLuz. Also joined always by John the producer from the Instagram handle. Nobody cares, he doesn't post anything.
He does care.
Going to keep negging you for this forever. We are joined by a special guest, friend of the dungeon and also prisoner of the dungeon. Instagram handle at sacri.legio, going by the name C, which I think stands for the C word. I don't know.
That is correct.
We start with guests first when it comes to pleasantries. C/Sacrilegio, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's great to be to have my ball gag removed and allowed to speak with you guys once again. Last year, June of last year, it's been almost a year now, I drove down to the dungeon and you guys have not let me out since.
Correct, yeah. And
the
last time you were down here, it was Pete Buttigieg.
Yes, I had come unto you as the resident Pete Buttigieg expert. I read his autobiography, I believe, 2 times. And then his second book, I've tried to erase it from my memory as much as possible.
I don't even remember which one I read.
I read his autobiography. Well, I think
They both were autobiographies, right?
Oh yeah, you know what? I think he wrote 2
Because I read an
autobiographies
autobiography also.
because somehow he deserves 2 of those. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's how you know
items.
you're a piece of shit, is when you write 4 fucking memoirs.
Yeah, and what is he, like 38?
Not old enough to have that many autobiographies.
And
He's young enough to be my son.
Shortly after, I also dug into his husband's book for a little bit. I didn't get all the way through it. I think I had like what they used to call like battle fatigue from getting through his
The
first-
fog of war.
yeah.
Is his husband's book the steamy one?
I think that they focused that Chasten reflects on their
Oh my
relationship
God.
more than Pete does. I almost feel like Pete spends an incredibly short amount of time ever mentioning his husband in the first place. And if I went into those books, forgetting that his husband, or not knowing that his husband existed, and I was like lazily and like passively listening to the book, I might have completely missed that he was married in the first part.
I mean, frankly, you can kind of do the same thing with. Okay, this is a confusing statement, but I think listeners or the listener might understand. But if you read his book without the context of his life, if you read his book as an alien, you would understand he was gay because he says it, but you wouldn't understand that he wants to fuck men.
Okay.
Like you would just have no idea
I
he has any kind of desires towards human beings
I have a
apart from
partner
sharing
theory.
pierogies with them.
Yeah, I have a partner theory to this.
Mm.
First off, he was
Partner
assigned
theory.
gay by the CIA, and Chasten is also like assigned to him by the CIA. So
His name is
Pete-
literally Chasten.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Pete
That's
treats him like an issued piece of gear, in which it's like, yeah, I have it, I have to use it all the time.
Yeah. He hits me with the gay
it's some-
laser every Sunday.
It's something that was issued to me, and you know, at some point I'm gonna have to return this to the United States government. Chasten, on the other hand, like in the this is my rifle relationship,
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is my husband, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun.
But you know, in the this is my rifle relationship, Chasten is the rifle, and so he has this, you know, he is nothing without Pete, so he has to have that overemphasis on the relationship, because the difference that, you know, Chasten and a rifle have is that one of them allegedly has thoughts and consciousness.
Daring.
Yeah. So
Maybe,
anyways,
maybe someday.
now that I'm done doing a hate crime, Danko, how are you doing?
Oh, Michael, how am I doing?
Yep, that's the question I asked.
Let me tell you real quick.
Takes a sip of shitty beer. Or maybe it's good beer, I don't know. Looks like it's beer.
Yeah.
Chug. Not sip. My bad. Go ahead. You're just gonna look at this anger.
He's just gonna have a fucking stroke.
Oh no, he's Petersoning.
I can't do the joke because I forgot the guy's name. I fucked it up. I chugged a beer for no reason. It's a hef too. It's real weedy. Okay, hold on. Pretend. Forget all of that. Clip it out. Okay, I'm about to cry now. Okay. I saw Madison Cawthorn's butt.
Yeah,
that's the whole joke. Yeah, I'm bad, dude.
Bussy is actually the preferred. You're not bad. You're bad.
It's not a bussy anymore at that point. It's. I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. I think I knew where you were going with that, and I'm glad we're just gonna leave it there.
Yeah. Man, not great.
Yeah. Want to talk about it? Therapy or?
I mean, we will for the next 4.5 hours.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. This is actually about you. The title of this episode being Danko Gets a New Couch.
That's funny awesome. Because I got a notification on my phone as you started the recording. Like YouTube sent me a little ping and said, "Oh, the Benzo Rehab Dungeon is going live." I'm like, I wonder who with.
You smuggled a phone into your cell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the last thing that I want to point out.
Yeah.
Which is that it was nice of him to be appreciative about us removing the gag. But since Mike and I were the people that installed the gag, it's not a ball gag, it's a bald gag.
Hey.
See, that joke is a bald gag.
Yeah. I was gonna try to continue it, but I don't want to anymore. And last but certainly not least, John, how are you doing?
I mean, I was doing pretty good until we let the guest called C word out of their cell and reminded me about Pete Buttigieg's husband's name.
Yeah.
Yeah. C is for Chasten.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean,
Chasten Cawthorn.
I don't think I can do this anymore.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
You chose a really interesting time to give up. I've listened to most of the episodes.
Well, you've listened to all of them because we play them in your cell.
Yeah.
But he tries to sleep through some of them, or he has he goes into a
they're all on repeat, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
what do they call the cochlear implants? We should put some of those in them.
Cochlear, but cochlear is funnier.
Well, we'll give them both.
Yeah, all right.
That's like a Bushism.
Yeah, got the cochlear implants.
But I do, that's a really good way of describing the podcast in general, is that it's just it's on loop.
Oh, also that.
Just keep doing the same shit over and over again.
Well, cool. Speaking of the same shit over and over again, let's go to our first link.
We have links for this episode?
We got tons of links for this episode. We got news items to go through first. Sorry, C, I know that you're just a designer by trade.
Stop calling him
by
that.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Interior. design is my passion. Yeah. My
Yeah, why are you an expert on
inspiration,
this?
my like inspiration to like bring this up and like make an impassioned plea that we talk about this came from an experience that I had at an IKEA in a heavily gentrified community. My friend was looking for a rug, and I was forced to go through this gauntlet of shitty, very poorly designed, and flimsy furniture, and it was
Yeah.
traumatizing.
So,
So much so, it was so traumatizing. I went back to the Benzo Rehab dungeon and voluntarily shackled myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you learn that freedom is worse than slavery. But
Oh, yeah.
anyways,
Why-
we have a
wise
couple of
words.
news items to go through before we talk about the subject of interior design. The first one is
Is actually interior design in a way.
yeah, is interior design in a way. Which is we missed this on the last episode, probably because it came out around the same time that I was putting all the links together, and I just didn't see it in my news. But OSHA won't file charges for fatal Amazon warehouse collapse. The collapse that happened during the tornado. Oma, I think, right?
Yeah, I forget. But
I believe it was Kansas.
Kansas. Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. It was Kansas.
Kansas, Oklahoma, and northern Texas are all the same place, and
So
that's
go
going to
ahead
piss
and,
everyone off.
Scroll down a little bit, John. It'll probably give us. Oh, Illinois. We were all wrong.
Okay.
Amazon won't be fined or
Yeah, you
cited by
should have
U.S.
known.
safety officials after a tornado caused one of its Illinois warehouses to collapse, killing 6 workers, according to a letter sent to Amazon on Tuesday from the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. The regulator says that it has a few recommendations for the company after its investigation, where it interviewed workers and reviewed records and the facility's emergency action plan. OSHA's letter still flags a number of concerns with Amazon's handling of the incident, including an unnecessarily convoluted process for raising the alarm. When the order to shelter in place first came through, managers had to yell to employees instead of using a megaphone, since the megaphone was locked in a cage and not accessible. Some workers
Well, yeah,
didn't-
they want to stop protests.
Yeah.
They want to stop strikes.
If you have the megaphone out, somebody's going to take it and use it for organizing.
Yeah, they're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Why don't we shut down the store? And then it's going to collapse.
When the order to shelter in place first came through, oh, sorry, I already read that.
God damn it.
So it was locked in a cage and not accessible. Some workers didn't know where the designated shelter in the facility was, while others had never done a tornado drill. Some Amazon workers have accused the company of not providing sufficient emergency training or communication at other facilities. One employee recalled having to yell evacuation orders to her coworkers in response to a chemical leak. As OSHA describes it, the fatalities were a direct result of confusion between the facility's 2 restroom locations. Designated shelter for the building was the facility's northern restroom, and according to the report, managers told employees to head to the restrooms 10 minutes before the tornado touched down. However, some workers went to the southern restrooms instead, not knowing that they weren't designated shelter. According to a CNBC report, at least 5 of the 6 workers who were killed at the warehouse were sheltered. So basically, the only organization that exists for like workers' safety rights is not going to do anything to punish Amazon for having piss poor safety conditions in their warehouse, with 6 people died. On top of, you know, not having proper evacuation protocols, training, or anything like that, or rather shelter in place training and protocols. They wouldn't let people leave the facility when the warnings first came through, when they would have had plenty of time to go to their homes, where they probably could have sheltered more adequately, or, you know, municipally provided shelters thing. So Amazon kills 6 people and nothing's happened to them. There are going to be civil lawsuits, of course, where victims of the families of the victims will hopefully be able to get something for their loss, but I believe that human life is irreplaceable, and throw money at a family, but they're still going to be grieving the family member. I open the floor now to you gentlemen.
I don't know, man. If someone gave me $50 because my dad died,
and I mean,
move on with my life.
It's probably easier to grieve in a villa on the side of a hill.
Guys are monsters.
Man. But yeah, I mean, high turnover is really expensive. Like a human life must be worth at least like $200. So,
well, if you're in the military, it's $200,000.
yeah. No, I think like the average, like in an actuarial sense, the average like value of a man in his 20s is something like $25,000.
Wonderful. Great. We can actually put a price on human life.
We do it a lot.
It's not very much.
No, it's a year's pay in a lot of positions.
Not a good year's pay, though. Thing.
Well, I mean, depends on the position.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Next link, unless anybody has more evil things to say.
Can I just cough some more?
Yeah. Oh, this is from you.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
It's what it sounds like. Russian TV shows simulation of Britain and Ireland wiped out by a nuke. But really, it's not the tornado. It's the tsunami that gets you.
Oh yeah.
Let's play that shit. Let's check it out.
It's all you.
Full screen that ad.
I want to see this ad in 4K.
There's a person of color and a man that looks like me with hair yelling at one another from their cars. And then it's an insurance commercial. Oh, there it is.
А Англии нет. Раз и навсегда. Зачем заигрывать? Другой вариант — погрузить Британию в морскую пучину российский подводный робот-беспилотник «Посейдон».
Dmitry Kiselev, or maybe his name is Russian McRussian. I don't know.
More like Dimitri, kiss my butt.
And he's talking about how one nuclear launch and Britain could be wiped the planet, which gonna make threaten something we like.
Yeah, and they're gonna do it from a submarine.
Yeah, and they're gonna do it from a submarine, of course.
Hell yeah!
And now he's going into detail describing how exactly
Hell yeah!
Things like velocity. Go ahead.
Приближается к цели на километровой глубине со скоростью 200 километров в час.
So there's a big shiny dick in the water.
Способа остановить этот подводный дрон.
Ireland.
Боеголовка на нем мощностью до 100 мегатонн. Взрыв этой термоядерной торпеды у берегов Британии поднимет гигантскую волну, цунами высотой до 500 метров. Такой водяной шквал является еще и носителем экстремальных доз радиации. Пройдя над британскими островами, он превратит то, что от них, может быть, еще и останется, в радиоактивную пустыню, надолго непригодную хоть для чего.
That's pretty fun, huh? Isn't that cool? Love it.
Basically, the plan is they detonate a nuke underwater. It causes a
I narrated
tsunami.
the whole thing, Michael.
Well, yeah, but you did it like over a Russian guy talking, so it probably came out pretty unintelligible, if I'm being honest.
I don't know, man.
Not the best radio we've done.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, blow it up underwater. Nuclear tsunami wipes out the whole island of Great Britain.
Everyone, send us a bunch of harassing messages about whether or not that was unintelligible, because I can't hear shit that's coming through anyway.
Oh. I can't, because I'm usually the one sending harassing messages when I'm not on the pod.
I can hear everything through Zoom just fine, but as per usual, everything coming in through Discord is very quiet, even though it's at 200%.
Hey, Deebs.
So
What's up?
Apparently, people in the person in the chat says that your mic's cutting in and out.
Yeah, I think I fixed it. We'll see. They'll let me know soon, I think.
And then victims of the Amazon family. It's like the victims of communism.
Yeah, the
group?
victims of Amazon fund. So
Yeah.
our next link, there's no comfortable way to introduce this.
I've been waiting for this for about an hour
Except
now.
for the fact that I keep insisting and continue to insist that we use the uncensored one that I sent.
So Gene Dalefield says your narration was unintelligible. Sorry.
Fuck you, Gene. Your ears are bullshit, Gene.
John, if you could make this full screen.
Dox him. Gene Dalefield lives in Daleton. The Gene Town.
Yeah.
I love
probably
that the
a man.
wheelchair's in the shot.
Yeah. Well, that's how you know it's Madison Cawthorn.
Yeah, because you can't see any of the goods in this version.
Yeah. So Madison Cawthorn recently gave an interview where he delivered what was surprising to some people, news that Republican congresspersons have coke-fueled orgies, and he was invited to some of them, but apparently declined, and has witnessed people in Congress snorting coke, doing bumps off of keys, I think is almost exactly what he said. Since then, a bunch of damaging images and videos have come out about Madison Cawthorn. This one in particular is him roughhousing with one of his cousins. It's hard to tell, but the cousin is on the bed underneath him, and
he's fucking his cousin's face.
He is essentially trying to face fuck his cousin. He is not wearing any clothes. There are uncensored versions of this out on the internet.
I'll send one to you right now.
If you want to see really sad, emaciated little cheeks,
little tornado tussie,
little tornado legs flapping around.
As I said in the pre-show, he looks like the genie from Aladdin. Which is a cool thing for me to say. Which is a good reference. I'm excited for people to shit on me.
And again, like we noted in the audio recording that starts before we start the video, we're not anti-disabled people. We're anti-disabled people who are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And Madison Cawthorn, he might be in a wheelchair, but he would do anything in his power to remove all disability rights from everyone, if given the chance. He has a pretty long track record of being just a despicable person. And this is, him essentially sexually assaulting his cousin. So, John, go ahead and play this without any further comment.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god. He's in his face. Your is on my face. Oh my god.
Man, that version's so censored.
Yeah, well,
like
it has to be.
The blur grows, it like eclipses his whole body.
Well, that's because his entire body becomes erect.
I don't know. I feel like I was sufficiently perturbed seeing that censored. I think that was enough to make me uncomfortable.
Your dick and butthole are on his face.
Yeah. So I was initially a little bit reticent to play this. I will admit.
Until you found a censored version,
until we found a censored version, which won't get us banned from YouTube. But I do think I did want to talk about it at the very least, because I think it's interesting that we can see a political party absolutely crushing someone that's come out against like the party line or like the party like what's the word I'm looking for, their public image. Basically he tarnished their public image, and now Republican sources are secretly leaking this and basically damaging its career, trying to get him to submit and basically probably eventually resign because he's not playing the game like they want him to play the game.
You know, to simplify that even further, that's wealthy cokeheads doing cokehead behavior. Like, I feel like if you ran into any like stratified group of moneyed and privileged cocaine enjoyers, and you went against, you know, their little brotherhood, their little fraternity of bougie drug use, you know, you probably get treated just similarly to the way Madison Cawthorn is going to be treated now.
Yeah,
they prefer to be called cocossures. But yeah, I mean, my favorite thing about those kind of like cokehead groups is that they will always call out people for acting like cokeheads. Like that's what you call out someone for. And so it's this beautiful perpetual motion machine of restaurants starting and collapsing and people fucking one another's faces but not being able to come.
So on top of, you know, the cokehead sort of thing,
yeah.
On top of the cokehead thing that's sort of happening, you know, I believe every political party has this kind of damaging evidence on every one of their party members if it's available. And you know, we've talked in the past about how there's certain party members in the Democratic Party who are supposedly holding up the Biden agenda. And this shows, like, if a political party really wants to crush one of its own members for stepping out of line, you know, someone like Joe Manchin or Kristen Sinema, for the Democrats could crush these people the same way that Madison Cawthorn's being crushed. You know, Joe Manchin's wife has a very important seat in the Appalachian Market Commission or whatever the fuck it is. It's some economic commission for Appalachia. You know, she's being allowed to hold that position while Manchin is supposedly, you know, destroying the Biden agenda, voting against everything that Biden apparently wants to achieve. And it's just a simple matter of flexing the power where you have it if you really actually want to achieve your agenda.
Yeah,
Republicans are evil demons, but they at least fucking do what they like set out to do, and they crush.
Yeah, I don't know that that's. I think you're largely correct, but I do think that Democrats try to pull this kind of shit all the time, but their version of it, because their ideology sucks, is like, oh my God, did you know that this person's ex-wife works in real estate? That's pretty bad.
Well, I would actually disagree on that point, because the only time we ever see this kind of thing happening is with someone like, and you know, let's go ahead and curtail the discussion here, I guess, where yes, Bernie is not a perfect candidate, and I have plenty of disagreements with him, and I think he's kind of a coward in a lot of respects. However, when Bernie was showing like a real chance of being like the Democratic primary winner, what comes out about him? Oh, he's misogynistic, stuff like that.
Or he has a couple houses.
Yeah, or he has.
I mean, that was the real dirt that they dug up, was that he had multiple houses.
Yeah, you see this kind of stuff come out about any, you know, center left deviation from the Democratic Party line. So we can see that the Democratic Party is more than comfortable crushing people who are operating within their ranks.
No, but that's exactly what I'm saying, is that they crush people in a way that is totally ineffective and ineffectual, because again, it needs to align with their dumb ideology, where it's, what's the worst kind of thing a person could be? They could be a misogynistic jerk with a townhouse, and
as if
that's
the current
biggest monster you could be. Yeah,
isn't a
and if
misogynistic
you
jerk with a bunch of houses, right?
right, and if you call someone out for being something that could actually fill them with shame, unless you know about like a series of like violent felonies that they committed, it's not okay to call them out for that on the liberal end, because it becomes something like, hold on, did you know Joe Manchin sold foot pics? Well, I can't do that though, because that would be kink shaming him, and it's a whole fucking thing. Kirsten Cinema sucked 1,000 dicks. No, you can't call her out on that either. That would be that would make you look bad, because
what if it was 1,000 dog dicks though?
1,000 dog dick. Well, even that could maybe be a little.
If I could chime in here, I
Yes,
feel
please.
like the like in regards to Bernie and like having like two houses, or like allegations of misogyny, the Democrats, what they really have going for them is they have these like political vassalships of people who don't, like, they claim to have no or very little common beliefs, or like beliefs that are like completely contrarian to the core of the DNC platform, in regards that you might have like some democratic socialists, or like some type of socialist that has a moral compass that doesn't really fit into America's political binary. And they're able to pull that out. Someone who has a compunction with, flagrant, indulgent bourgeois behavior might actually give a shit about Bernard having multiple livable residences, while there is like a crisis of affordable housing. I understand how like some socialists might feel that way, might have a compunction with that.
But it's I mean, that's the problem, is that Democrats are obsessed with non-issue vampire castle shit.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Whereas the Republicans are willing to call someone up, like even if they're like invading their party or something.
Yeah.
Like that's never happened. And be like, hey, did you know that this guy, he claims to have a loving wife and children, but in fact he's
gay?
Oh, I mean, like what I was
all these things. He's just.
What I was going to say there, in contrast with a lot of conservatives, like you could like completely like blow up like any businessman's spot. Like you could make a pretty damning, make a lot of damning and very like valid condemnations of a guy like Elon Musk, and Republicans would be like, yeah, and like so
Right.
he exploits people in South American countries, and like say something that's actually going to piss me off. And so you have to like Republicans are like forced to like jump to like stuff that is just like widely condemnable, like being a sex criminal, or dry humping your cousin.
Right. And the really funny thing about the conservative model over here is that there are built-in beautiful exceptions, right?
Yeah.
Where you could suck 1 billion dicks, or you could kill a child with your car, because these are equatable things. Being gay and killing children are the same thing in my mind. But if you do all this and you have a successful business, or you happen to like be a senator who's done some notable gesticulations, or something, then you're in your position because you're in your position, and it doesn't matter to them. That's why they're able to say things like, well, there are black people in the Republican Party, or like, I don't hate Mexicans because my buddy over here, he's brown. And it's like, yeah, but the reason that you like him is because he's a rich, successful piece of shit. And the reason that you hate Mexicans is you think that they're not usually rich, successful pieces of shit. You have this weird binary that you've built out. And so you can get away with anything after a certain point. Just thankfully, Cawthorn has just been stupid and hasn't done anything notable enough that he can't get away with this.
Right. Oh,
they caught it early. But yeah. Whereas with the Democrats, they could nuke someone like they did with what the fuck's his name? He was a comedian that became a Democratic representative, and he got in trouble for like squeezing a woman's butt or something when she was passed out. Was that right?
Senator Bernie.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of sucked anyway, but you know.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember the name right now. And it wasn't like a passed out grope thing. It was like he was an unwanted kiss sort of situation.
Something like that. Yeah. It was some kind of thing that's like not cool, but minor enough that it probably wouldn't explode your world if you were on the Republican side, right?
Yeah, and they basically
but with him,
forced him.
Like, poof,
they forced him to resign.
Yeah.
Again, in a situation where they had like this very narrow, slim majority in the Senate, and basically what they did is they forced him out so that they no longer had a majority. And it's like, well, now we can't do anything during the Obama presidency.
Yeah. I mean, that's at bottom, it's the real difference between liberals and conservatives, if we can use those
there's a pragmatism
terms.
to conservatism.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I think what's kind of coming through, or the reason for the pragmatism versus that impracticality, is that Democrats, to some degree, even though they're inconsistent deep down, genuinely believe that each individual is responsible for their own moral lives. And so that also applies to their ideology, because they believe that you can think your way through life ad hoc and make sense of things. And that's how you'll build the way that you construe your ethics and all sorts of things. And each individual does it for themselves, because it's about smart argument and careful consideration. So if you fuck up, man, gosh, you shouldn't have fucked up, and I'm sorry, we have to let you go. Whereas conservatives nominally believe in individual responsibility and things like that, but really are just entirely beholden to the idea of some kind of like terrifying natural order that they all belong to. And so they are able to function like some kind of Lovecraftian cyclopean monolith that can simply just trample anything else over. And so they work phenomenally well together.
Which, is maybe a good segue to our next link, John.
Before you click over, just I want us to look at the furniture ad that we're getting in the lower left with that beautiful couch.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's some interesting stuff going on there.
Is that like tiger stripe? Is that what I'm saying? Or
yeah, like a tiger stripe love seat.
That's hot. Is that the couch I'm getting?
I honestly,
it would match with my look.
Well, let's go ahead and go to the next link.
Whatever.
We're not on the interior design.
So tired of this shit.
We gotta.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Roe versus Wade or something.
Yes. Speaking of the shambling cyclopean horror of the Republican Party, being very effective at doing things. Roe v. Wade has essentially been overturned unless something weird happens between the release of this draft, leak of this draft, and the final opinion. I don't think it's the case that the final opinion changed very much. But
No,
yeah.
in fact, I think this is an inoculation for the final opinion, right? It's
Right.
a way to get the controversy out of the way right now so that they can, pretend it's less of a big deal when they make the actual choice.
And like also further,
And also to help in
point,
the midterms.
give
Sorry.
Opportunity for people that make apologies for the Biden administration to be able to formulate some sort of opinion that is superficially impenetrable.
Right. But here's the good news, guys, is that maybe all we had to do was sacrifice Roe versus Wade in order to get the Biden administration to at least start considering one of their campaign promises of forgiving $5 of student debt for each individual.
Yeah. Gee, where do you even start on this shit? It's like,
Or is it $5 nationwide? I forget.
I think it's $5 whole. So you'll get like a fraction of a penny taken off of your student loan.
That's really going to help.
Did Biden make any promises to protect women's rights to get an abortion?
Here's the thing: is that? Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was going to say he has tweeted before. I couldn't pull up the tweet right now, but there was a tweet during his campaign, much like Barack Obama, that went unfulfilled, where there was a promise to codify Roe versus Wade into law, making it much more difficult to repeal, to overturn, to not make the law of the land.
Yeah.
So how cool is it going to be when they actually federally ban abortion? How funny and dope is that going to be?
By the way, everyone.
I'm torn on that, but yeah, I do think it's a real possibility.
No,
sure.
I think it's definitely going to happen because, every indication shows that the Democrats are going to get fucking destroyed in the midterms.
Oh yeah.
Biden's supposed solution to this is vote your ass off, which he's not willing to.
I'm so ready to vote, guys.
Vote your ass off, Jack.
He's not willing to talk about ending the filibuster, which is an arbitrary rule of Congress that has no constitutional backing whatsoever. It's just a rule they decided on, and the filibuster does not have to exist.
In fact, if we if we get rid of the filibuster, you know what that's going to mean? No filibuster, you can bust in her.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So
excellent.
I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go to a protest this weekend and make up a bunch of signs about that.
In the filibuster, so
in her.
Cool. I hope that doesn't get you beaten to death or something.
No, I'm going to get laid.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude.
I personally hope it does get you beaten to death.
Thank you.
I mean, what would I do without my co-host? Is really all I'm kind of.
You'd get through the news.
Yeah. Carry on bravely.
Yeah.
Damn. Fuck. Again, where to start with this? So Biden won't consider ending the filibuster for what he says is a fundamental right. If you look at Biden's history,
and bust in her. God damn it!
Fuck up.
Look,
you're canceled.
Fucked it
right
up
now.
so bad. Shit. Bust in and fill her. Cream pie jokes.
Anyways,
coming a pussy.
Something that Biden
Are we
has
allowed to say
historically.
cream pie?
Yes, we're allowed to say whatever
nice.
we want. We just can't show whatever we want.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
I could. That's the thing
for
keeps
some
you
reason
people in
doesn't think-
line. Is I could say at any time.
But
but I don't.
Anyways,
because I'm one of the good ones.
Biden has actually been against abortion. Jesus Christ. I'm going to fucking mute you.
Can we put a shirt with Danko's face on it, but it's like white silhouette on a black shirt, so he looks extra white. This is one of the good ones.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones. Please. I'll buy 10.
I'll make the design if you shut the fuck up for a minute. Anyways, historically, Biden has actually been anti-abortion. There was actually a huge push in the 90s for Democrats to take up an anti-abortion stance. Notably, Hillary Clinton was a part of this. A bunch of other Democrats were part of this, and a lot of these Democrats are still in office. I think the reason Biden doesn't want to end the filibuster in order to secure this quote-unquote fundamental right, in his words, is because we would quickly discover that many Democratic representatives don't actually want abortion rights in this country. And
that's an interesting point, because one of the major one of the early minds of our modern political rhetoric around abortion in the United States comes from a gentleman named not really a gentleman, he's a gigantic piece of shit, named Ben Wattenberg. And he was an advisor to the Nixon administration and an author of The Birth Dearth, where if you read The Birth Dearth, he basically goes into how abortion needs to be banned, and it spirals into this thesis that attempts to give credibility to the myth of white genocide and the fragility of the white ethnic majority in the United States. And he was a Democrat, and he spent much of his life trying to drive the Democratic Party to the center. And he was attacking people that were routinely disagreeing with Republican culture points, and was very much trying to solidify this bipartisan unity on the topic of abortion.
What was his name again?
Ben Wattenberg.
Wattenberg.
His book that really delves into this is called The Birth Dearth, and so that came out in 1984. So I believe that for the time, that may have crossed the paths of a lot of older Democrats today. A lot of people that are decision makers and people that you would not go against if you were a member of the DNC. Nancy Pelosi herself has said, has pleaded to liberal voters not to attack anti-abortion Democrats. And I believe that there are a couple in the Democratic Party that are outspokenly anti-abortion.
Sure. I mean, it's the U.S.
So one in fact, that has voted in line with Republicans. I forget their name. But there was, I remember reading about this person's views against abortion, and it was mostly just shelving any discourse in favor of saying, oh, well, I'm a Catholic.
Yeah, of course.
Biden, also a Catholic, by the way.
Right. But yeah, I mean, even independent of whether or not there is, I don't mean this in a condescending way, a conspiracy of Democrats, because they're very likely, I'm sure a lot of them do feel that way. But even independent of this kind of like secret pro-life or whatever the fuck, anti-abortion people, I think there are three fundamental reasons for this occurring, which is, I mean, number one, that it was always going to occur as long as conservatives ended up, gaining these Supreme Court seats. Number two, that it was just really convenient timing right now because this is going to help them a lot in the midterms, like really significantly, I think. And third, and I'm going to bring back an old chestnut, but when a pandemic happens, say like, and these aren't comparable, but they are in this case, the Black Plague or COVID, what
Just
occurs
say
from there,
the Black Plague.
duh Black Plague.
Were you
Black
trying to
Plague.
say the Black Plague with like an Ebonics inflection?
I
Oh.
should have. It would have been funnier than what I said. But if when these things occur, be it because they kill a bunch of people or it makes it so that people realize they don't actually have to work, it ends up hurting the amount of people that you have available to work. And
Right.
that causes things like wages to increase significantly, or like we see in our weird contemporary society where the rate of profit has fallen so much that you just need to fucking find a way to get them to work. There's just no other way.
I think
Well,
you start
it's,
producing rules like with the witch
Yeah.
trials and stuff. I'm just going to finish my point, where you end up placing new controls on women's bodies. Because that's the whole fucking point, is that you need to keep like a labor pool going in the present and the future. Some more
right,
poor
which
people.
I don't think is too far away from what I'm alleging about the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party also has this interest. And like I said, the reason he doesn't want to end the filibuster in order to, allow for the codification of this through Congress is because we would quickly find out that, this Democratic Party principle of we're pro women's rights would quickly be discovered as a farce. And he knows that, and the entire Democratic Party, I think, knows that. And then it all ties back into everything you said, because this is something where Republicans and Democrats actually have common ground on, because they're all beholden to the same investor slash elite class that needs these workers to continue their project of exploiting workers.
Hell yeah. I mean, like I said, I genuinely, it wasn't a slight when I said the conspiracy word.
Yeah, but I wanted to tie it together.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next link, and this is the last one before we get into interior design. Sorry, C.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's been a busy news week,
I understand.
So, Danko, this is again one that you sent in. If you wanna preface it.
No, let's just dive in. Abbott says Texas could resurrect SCOTUS case requiring states to educate all kids, which includes the children of undocumented immigrants, things of the sort, which is one of the places where that ends up being important. What's up?
Which is where I think the lie is happening, right? This is being presented as we're going to challenge the SCOTUS case, which says all undocumented children still deserve like an education, right? The problem is that this SCOTUS case also applies to naturalized citizens and their children. So it's being presented as, oh, we're going to stop teaching the kids of illegal immigrants, which is already just like a barbarous concept to begin with. But it also has implications for your kids as a naturalized American citizen.
Yeah, it has implications for how eager they are going to be to try to do another stupid ass school voucher program where they filter all the kids into more private institutions. Sorry, John, what was that?
Oh, and I was going to say, and we've seen how like competent fucking Greg Abbott's been at working out all the little bugs of his laws and plans and stuff like that by like shutting down his state's economy for politics.
Right. Yeah. And this is again a person who is extremely shrewd in how they achieve what they want to achieve. A lot of how Roe v. Wade is being overturned right now is on people like Abbott banning abortion in their state, which raises, the question of Roe v. Wade up to the Supreme Court. So this is something that has, a very large potential of becoming real. Another thing that I forgot to bring up in the Roe v. Wade discussion is the draft, very bizarrely, and this is a subject that you would think has nothing to do with Roe v. Wade, but the draft against Roe v. Wade and to overturn Roe v. Wade references gay marriage a bunch, references the privacy of your medical information. So this attack on, and we're not pro state people as far as I know, but as long as the state has us under their thumb, they kind of have the power to do whatever they fucking want with us.
Yeah, I mean that's literally the problem with all this is that we're surrounded by people who codify rights as being something which a state grants.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, and we have, and yeah, put aside the argument of rights aren't real. Essentially, yes, we get that. But we have is now the state.
No, I think rights are more real than real.
Well,
that's the thing. But yeah, sorry, go on.
But we have the state entity which controls everything we do. It imposes itself on every aspect of our life, and now every aspect of our life is being eroded to the point where we are now completely subservient to the state. And while we're subservient to the state, they're not even going to give us the reach around that we used to get, essentially.
Yeah, well, another point that I'd like to bring up, because I used to have this idea that you could use the law as a cudgel against the system, but our completely fucked up system, you can win a court case, right? You could be exonerated of murder, sue the government, be found I don't know what the word is, right, that's fucked up, be awarded millions of dollars, but then the government just decides not to pay it.
Yeah, and we can see this in cases like Steven Donziger, right? Who challenged oil companies in America who poisoned
South American country somewhere.
Yeah, it was a South American country. I apologize for had a couple of drinks now. But they poisoned the locals of the South American country, and Steven Donziger takes up their case, fights it, wins it. The oil companies still haven't paid these people. The oil companies confer with the judges that they have in their pocketbooks.
Sorry.
What's up?
Ecuador. Sorry.
Ecuador. Thank you. The Ecuadorian people who were poisoned by, I think it was Shell or Exxon. Who cares? They're all the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think it was Shell. But anyways, they haven't paid a single cent to any Ecuadorian people who have been a victim of this poisoning of their water. And then, these oil companies confer with the judges they have in their pocketbook, get Steven Donziger placed on house arrest. He was finally freed a week ago or something, from house arrest. But and it was all on this technicality
period of time.
It was all on this technicality where he didn't surrender his laptop, which is not something a lawyer would ever have to normally do.
Yeah.
So it's a rigged system where we could say we have the rule of law, and as long as we follow these laws, everything's fair. But the simple fact of the matter is none of these laws are actually applied in any just or consistent way.
Yeah. And it's that quote from Jurassic Park, power finds a way. And it was Chevron, which is funny because it sounds like a mix of Shell and Exxon.
Yeah. That's why I got it confused. Not because I drank a bunch.
Or because they're all the same.
Or because they're all the same. They are all the same.
But and wasn't the issue with him? I don't remember if this is the case. But Wasn't the issue with his surrendering the laptop that it wasn't that the court needed it surrendered to them necessarily? It was that the defense was demanding that it be
Yeah.
surrendered to them.
The defense, which
is
the oil company.
fucking nuts.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, and I see the legal argument for something like that, where it's like, we need to see all of the evidence. And if the evidence is on your laptop, then you could do some weird lawyering around that. But like, obviously and patently nuts.
That would not normally happen. John,
Yeah.
sorry, you appear to want to say.
Well, and I was going to say that, like, even like on the flip side, where it's the poor people as defendants and the government as the plaintiff, if you do happen to get a judge that I guess is would listen to you, I was reading about this court case. It was just like a DUI, but the judge, I guess, agreed with the defense generally that it sounded like the cop made up a bunch of bullshit or whatever. But the prosecution successfully got that judge recused from the case because the prosecution was late to court or just didn't show up one day. And they were pissed that they discussed the case or discussed evidence without a representative from the prosecution.
Yeah, which, should show up on time, which is how it normally works in the reverse. So that's the dumpster fire that is the United States. Let's go on to interior design.
Yeah, much better.
No, I don't want. I don't want to do it.
See if
Find
you
me a
would like
couch.
to. Well, first we're going to look at some interior design trends.
Couch.
Finally.
Yeah, but see,
Shut up,
yes, if you would like
C.
to tell your story about IKEA.
Okay, so this was the inspiration for me to stoke you guys about doing this episode. So recently, I accompanied my friend Nick. Nick, if you're listening to this, shout out to you. All love to you. This has no bearing against you. I went to an IKEA with my friend. He was looking for a rug, and what I haven't been to an IKEA in probably, I would say, like somewhere around like 12 or 13 years. The last one that I went to was, I think it was in Hoboken, New Jersey, or like somewhere in Bergen County. And so I'm on the west coast of the United States
Hoboken
now.
IKEA
This historically, infamously, extremely gentrified community. We drove down because there wasn't an IKEA in our city. And it was this horrific sensory assault, like dungeon. It looked almost like a Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare map. Like it was just like a bunch of like living rooms and living spaces, like mise en place of every IKEA product you could possibly buy. And they're making, I didn't realize this, but they even make like toilets and like sink fixtures now. A lot of decorative plumbing, lighting. We were just there for a rug. And if you go to one of these IKEAs, they have, I think the one that we went to had 25 different departments in it. And you have to start at the first department. In the first department, you have to walk through all of them. And only once you've gone through the first, I think, 15 of them, does it become compartmentalized into individual objects. So you have to walk through about 15 departments of these like prefab living rooms and bedrooms and kitchens and
in between
bathrooms.
them there's like big old barrels full of spoons and shit.
And there were like enticing advertisements for like food, and they have like this like very stark cafeteria where they sell this very questionably cheap food.
Yeah, hold on. Here's the real question about your IKEA trip.
Sure.
All right. And I'm gonna be, I know the answer because I know your diet, but I'm gonna ask this anyways if I was a lawyer.
Sure.
Did you buy Swedish meatballs at IKEA?
No, I did not.
No? Did you buy pickled herring at IKEA?
No, I did not.
Well, then did you really go to IKEA?
I
think
I
not,
guess
based on that.
I guess I didn't. I guess because I wasn't actually enticed into buying something that I wasn't really there. I was like like a ghost, like just moving through the space. Like I was like in an avatar of someone else. But
it sounds like bullshit.
It was a very exhaustive sensory assault of shitty furniture that is incompatible with anything other than itself.
In fact, actually, so I have a very different experience of IKEA.
Okay.
Because I used to go, I've walked through an IKEA twice through the furniture and stuff.
Yeah.
But those could have been dreams. So I'm going to throw those two experiences out because they were a very long time ago. I was like 17 or something. But in my 20s, I went to IKEA a lot because I wanted to pick up pickled herring and not the weird creamed stuff. I wanted to get the like vinegar pickled herring because it's fucking good shit. And sometimes Swedish fish. I know everyone's giving me that face. I know C is giving me that face. I can't even see him. But during these trips to get candy and pickled fish, I never saw any furniture, so I'm not sure it was there.
That was a long time.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I'm a solipsist now. The light in the fridge doesn't exist when I close it.
The big thing that like stood out to me versus my memories of being to an IKEA in childhood and living in a house that had some IKEA furniture versus my trip this time is that it was very decentralized and open air in the old days, but now it's like it's a like a labyrinth. That's how it's set up, is that you have these partitions that in these like open air kind of like throughways where you can stop and take a look at something, and you could like pick something up and take it with you, along to the next chamber of horrors.
Yeah.
So
well, no, that's actually really interesting. Oh, sorry, John, go on.
I've never been to an IKEA before,
Don't
mostly
go.
because of the horror stories. But
don't go.
I've heard that if you retrace your steps, that you'll be shot.
No, that's when the Minotaur gets you.
Yeah. Did you
actually,
fight the IKEA Minotaur?
Yeah. This is actually related, kind of. But for any of the listener that isn't aware of the difference between these things, I'll explain them. But IKEA and its development from being an open, decentralized warehouse where you could kind of do what you wanted, but you knew that, like, I don't know, if you shat in one of the beds or something, you get in trouble, was a disciplinary society, right? Where if there's probably IKEA security. I've never seen one, but I assume they exist. They have cameras.
It was probably the guy who drove the forklift back then.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, I'm sure they have like 4 like loss prevention guys that are from.
Oh, like, they've probably got like 6 off-duty cops now.
No, these are like retired spec ops guys. One of them worked with the. God damn it! What's the IDF? What's their special forces called again? Mossad. Thank you. See, my joke would have been funny if I remembered the word.
Would have been.
That's my problem today. Apart from not being funny, but yeah. So they have some Mossad agents that are watching you through all these cameras, and so it's this disciplinary society where if you do the wrong thing, you will be punished in a way that's obvious. But it's transitioned into becoming a control society with the rest of the world. And what a control society is it is this labyrinth where you are being viewed by everyone, and you're inside of these little places that feel like they're like built into doll houses. They're little homes, right? And so you're watching yourself as if you're inside of someone's home, you're inside of someone's property, and everyone is walking through it with you, and everyone's walking on this natural pre-delineated path, natural, quote unquote, and so no one will commit any wrongdoing or stray off of that path unless they're a 6-year-old or something. God bless 6-year-olds. because of the fact that the whole world is built in such a way that you discipline yourself. So
I mean,
yeah.
Like imagine if the death camps in Nazi Germany were open air warehouses, it'd just be chaos.
No,
They need cattle chutes.
Well, no, here's the thing though, because those were disciplinary society things, right?
Yeah.
Because you had a whole bunch of people in towers that were ready to shoot you. But I want to see, this is the only like human nature like experiment film that I want to see, because they're almost always awful.
People walking
so
through
bad.
IKEA.
Actually, that's the other one that I want to see. I either want to see one about IKEA, or I want to see like, I don't want to see it about the Holocaust, but I want to see a movie about what would a control society death camp be like? That's pretty curious. That's an interesting idea.
I mean, the current like border patrol.
No, that's disciplinary again. See, that's the problem.
Japanese internment camps.
I don't know enough about those, frankly, but I feel like those are probably disciplinary as well.
I like how we've gone from Foucault to Deleuze and Guattari in the context of IKEA.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
I think
Instagram is a control society.
The evolution of the open space IKEA to the controlled path, like the dungeon, the gauntlet, as it were, is out of necessity, because other forms of advertisement for other types of services can assault your senses at any time in the way that we live now with the internet at our fingertips, that we're almost being advertised to as soon as we wake up, and it stops only when we fall asleep. Really?
Yeah, and here's the thing. So the really amazing, terrifying, fascinating part of that is that one of the reasons they're able to get away with that and is part of the functioning of a control society, right? So you the ubiquity of advertising, the fact that it's all over your phone and in part of every bit of experience that you have in life, is it diminishes the barbarism of it, right? If you woke up and you just had like a Pepsi machine installed in your living room that you had to pay for or whatever, or like a fucking like someone was just installing advertisements right outside your window or something, you'd find that really fucking offensive, and you'd get pissed about it, and it would feel like violence, because it kind of would be. But instead we found a way to make it way more invasive, because not only is it in every experience that you have, it also collects all of your information. But we've also found a way to make it both more invasive and less barbaric feeling.
But the experience at IKEA is barbaric, because you're forced to march through the entirety of the gauntlet in one direction. Like,
no one's forcing you, though. That's the interesting thing.
I was gonna say that's the
you
thing
choose
about like
to march.
The advertisement on your phone can be explained away by, well, you chose to pick up the phone, right?
Yeah, you chose to click on all these pictures of naked women holding Coca-Cola, so you must love Coca-Cola.
How do you know
signed
that about
up
me?
for this. Yeah.
I mean,
which I think is fascinating. Sorry.
I won't get off on the exit of a highway that
I just won't
also
get
has
off
an
in general.
IKEA on it.
Smart man.
Yeah,
is that true?
Yeah, no, I refuse.
Well, so
I don't know what's real
to sort of put a pin in my thoughts about IKEA, because I don't want to go off on this for too long.
We could talk for 3 episodes about IKEA.
They cannot so easily market their products in such an immediate way, and so they have to recreate that. They have to create like an abstraction of what you see online with things being sold to you in like rapid fire intervals. There's ads all over Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever website you use.
And there's so much of it that's free on Craigslist. Like I've owned like 8 pieces of IKEA furniture. I don't know how they make money.
Right. This is an interesting, weird thing. So one of the reasons that this episode is called what it's called, which is something like getting Danko a couch or something.
Danko gets a new couch.
Thank you.
The background art, by the way, is the casting couch, but I put some creative filters on it.
That's really cool. They're gonna fuck me. But
Madison.
Is this your first time? Go on.
So I just moved, which I'm sure most everyone knows, but maybe we'll have an audience larger than 4 people one day, and this will be interesting news. But so I just moved, and so I had to buy a lot of furniture. And of course, the algorithm caught up with this even before I started doing it. And so every advertisement that I see is either for a penis pump or a couch, because these are the 2 things that apparently I need.
Yeah.
And so I have been fixated on furniture recently, whereas I very rarely ever thought about it before. But in terms of the IKEA thing, so I wanted to get, or I still want to get, a new couch and some other stuff, but the couch is the important thing. And I know that if I buy an IKEA couch, it's going to suck, but it's probably going to suck a little bit less than the couch that I have right now.
Well, you know
and
what?
So,
you know what, Danko? You already, have like Indiana Jones furniture. You have like old man shit. You have like 50.
I have divorce attorney furniture
at a Catholic university aesthetic, and so I think that the smart move, if you need a couch that doesn't,
I know where you're going with this.
If you need a couch that doesn't suck and is also durable and also matches all of this old grumpy man shit that you have in your domicile, you should just go antiquing.
Yeah, no, I know. That's so that's actually where I'm going with this.
Okay,
right?
Cool.
So there's like a Goodwill that is a block and a half from my home, right?
Long way to carry a couch, though.
It is. So it's complicated, but a block and a half isn't a far way to bring my car and some straps or something. So it would be a nightmare, but it could figure something out. Or rent a truck for a block and a half. What a nightmare. But anyway,
it'd be like $25.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I just wouldn't want to do the paperwork is the problem.
Yeah. No records. No
signature.
records.
You're right. I'm paying for this truck in cash for my casting couch. But yeah, anyway, so I've walked to this Goodwill a couple times in order to buy something. Potentially, I haven't found anything I like, but in order to buy something that would be a lot heavier and a lot more of a pain in the ass to like keep and whatnot, because I would love to have an old antique couch. But I go there alone. That's the important part, right? I go there alone to buy something that's going to be heavy and shitty enough that I should bring someone with me, but I don't, because it doesn't feel like an event. It's me going to look at antiques. But every time I think about driving over to IKEA, I think if I go to IKEA alone, that's going to be fucking weird. It's like going to Disneyland alone. And so I'm like waiting to date someone just long enough that I can be like, hey, I need to go to IKEA. Do you want to hang out at IKEA? Because that's like a 4th date earliest kind of weird thing to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that IKEA, yeah, I mean, that's pretty early. But yeah, this idea that IKEA is a an experience. It's a theme park. Yeah.
And so you could have some shared trauma together.
Yeah. It's like I'd rather go to movies alone.
Yeah.
And I do. I'm very sad.
So what you're telling us here is that you've been in this new city for months and you haven't made any like like casual friends with a strong back that could help you move this couch?
None with a strong back. That is right. I blow them all out.
Oh man.
I've been here for a month and a half, and I refuse to make any friend that doesn't have a beautiful face.
Damn.
Okay.
Tough going in the Midwest. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you live
Actually, they all have
in-
strong backs out here. That's the problem.
Sake.
So here are some interior design trends for 2022.
What's up?
Excite with two-tone color combinations. So dark
That's
green
not
and light
that bad.
green. Yeah, no.
That's
Some
not
of
not
these are
that
pretty
bad.
okay.
Hmm.
I thought this article was funny because it's just like this has always been design trend sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, those are like mid-century, right? And then
Yeah.
It feels somewhat timeless.
Escape with designs inspired by distant lands, otherwise
fuck
known
you.
as getting shitty wallpaper.
Yeah, bring back wallpaper.
Keep going down.
wallpaper's coming back. It shouldn't, but it's coming back.
Decorate with candy cane stripes is probably my favorite out of all these.
What the
Which is where you
That's
put,
a worse offender than the wallpaper. At least the wallpaper
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
like some sort of cheesy shit that if you're, you have like, I don't know, like a
it's
reverse
if you're a Tommy Bahama clothes wearer, then you're fine with the weird exotic palm tree.
It's Margaritaville.
wallpaper.
So-
It's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
that isn't as bad as an offender as these candy cane stripes.
Yeah,
The
the
candy
candy
cane
cane
thing
shit
is
sucks.
And-
is
yeah, they-
shocking.
and
Sorry,
they,
John, go
they paid extra for this, and
Oh, yeah.
the lines aren't even straight.
Yeah, you can see it
Yeah.
in the picture.
I mean, that's what we get though for
Forcing
so-
painters to do stupid stuff.
well, I mean that's true, but the universal decision, which I don't disagree with, but the universal decision that acoustic ceilings are bad now has led to a bunch of like white upper middle class ladies being willing to candy strike their ceilings, willing and able.
All right, John, keep going down. Like 17 of these fucking things. Hark back to yesteryear with ancient forms.
And that's just
yeah.
that's not that's
What?
like the 60s.
It's just blocks.
That
It's
looks like that futuristic episode from SpongeBob. You have a lot of things that are like metallic tones,
yeah.
and everything is like very angular and
Yeah.
I didn't hang my fucking perfect circle fucking
Right,
painting on the wall.
I bought this perfect circle fucking not the band. Just
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say,
circle on a canvas, and I didn't hang it.
I didn't hang my perfect circle one because I thought it might conflict with my Tool poster.
Keep scrolling down. Look to reimagine design classics. So we have some weird classical wallpaper in the background, and then this ugly as fuck
Yeah.
hutch sort of thing.
That's in front
Like-
of a couch.
Yes.
Yeah, that is weird. That's really weird placement. The thing is that like the hutch, it sucks, but not nearly as much as some things that I see. Like it's if someone had it in their home and they loved it, I'd be like, not for me. But
It's
you do
John
you.
Deere
not
green.
for me, but okay.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Whereas some of these things is like, oh my god, like if you did the candy stripe.
Embrace the
What the
rug
fuck's going on?
renaissance, and we have what looks like a blue rug that had bleach spilled on it.
Yeah, and somebody's put like Christmas ornaments or
Well, I think
glass
those are
bottles all over
jizz,
it.
actually. If you look
Oh.
at their construction.
Oh yeah, I see it. now.
Semen rug.
Yeah.
I mean, rugs are dope, but yeah, not that one.
Borrow colors from nature, which is apparently just
Brown? Use
yellow
brown?
and brown.
yeah, like
Okay.
this like halfway spoiled mayonnaise color.
Yeah.
Ochre.
It's an aioli, okay.
Keep going.
Ooh, that's hard to look at. That
Yes.
feels like acid.
Oh,
Revel in modern equestrian designs, and you have a wallpaper which is just the same like equestrian scene done in watercolors, but like repeated so much that it's hard to look at.
Yeah, it
And
seems to be
why?
an image of a horse being stretched through time and space.
Yeah.
You're making me, the way that you're pitching it, you're making me like it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay. So also I should note this is from homesandgardens.com. So this
Okay.
isn't just like no impact design advice. This is like a lot of middle-aged homeowners are looking at this and like designing their homes around this. Capture the mood with soft painterly blocks, which is like, I don't know, shitty camo
Camouflaging
paint,
your
but
walls.
yeah, shitty camo paint, but done in neutral tones. Seek out sustainable options, which is recycled fibers.
What
and
is
stuff.
that?
The
Is that are those
scratchiest looking.
pillows?
Yeah,
Well-
they're pillows. When I first saw it,
well,
I thought it was a
they're-
bunch of like opened oysters.
Well,
Or
and
pussy. It might have been pussy.
I guess they like made throw pillows that they're like, yeah, you definitely aren't supposed to like put your face on this because we've made it out of sandpaper.
Right? Yeah.
Which
I've
is funny
never
because
understood that.
that
I've
texture,
never ever understood that. I used to date someone who had like at least 6 or 7 throw pillows on her bed, and I never understood it because they would only be on the bed when nobody was using it.
Well, you gotta throw them off.
I don't necessarily believe in throw pillow pragmatism. I'm totally cool with throw pillows that don't serve that purpose, but maybe I've been domesticated.
Yeah.
But
Even.
yeah, sorry
Yeah.
guys, I'm a cook now. Oh, I got cooked by the pillows.
Go on.
Yeah, but really the texture of these pillows, it's interesting because they look uncomfortable,
Yeah, they look like
but
shit.
also I can feel the childhood memory of like using a pillow like that, you know.
Getting a small burn on your face from accidentally falling on it.
Well, I thought you were going somewhere way darker with that.
No, Jesus.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say then
Yeah.
then you're beaten by your grandmother for using.
Oh,
throw
I was
pillows.
gonna say,
Yeah, no, darker,
yeah.
John. Sorry.
yeah, I thought he
Darker.
was saying when little Dorian was face down, ass up.
Let's go on to the next one because this elicited too many memories from people.
It happened. It happened.
So oh no, never mind.
John, next.
Scroll away from the
Net-
pussy
net.
pillows.
Create
That
curves
looks-
with rounded
oh, never mind.
edges.
Isn't that what occurred?
No. It's okay until you notice that the vase thing on the table is a butt.
This vase didn't have enough
Ass.
curves.
That's a butt. No,
That's a
so
butt.
actually, it looked okay to me as we were scrolling down, until I saw the what the fuck am
Booty
I
vase
even
is the
looking
thing
at?
I'm the least mad about in this image.
Yeah,
It's the crystal ball on the table,
Yeah.
like that takes up most of the table. It's an unusable. I'm hoping it's some kind of lamp.
I mean, I was hoping it was like, I don't know, like some type of like party vape or something. Like
I was
one
going
of
to
mean,
say
even
that
more
it was
useful.
like a discreet like tray to put your drugs on, like on top of it. It just kind of looks like a centerpiece, but if you take it up, it's like woo, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I have an ottoman in my house that I fill with drugs.
Well,
It's important. Just kidding.
channel a Latin American flair.
Ooh, that's racist and looks like shit.
Yep.
This looks like an Arizona fucking hotel room.
I was gonna say New Mexican, but
Yeah, it looks
You know,
like it's
maybe
pretending to be
both.
one of those things
Yeah.
too. Like it's not even getting the shitty like mid or southwestern kitsch thing right.
right, yeah. John, keep
I was
going.
going to say that IKEA does that too, except they very in a very like lazy and sloppy way, they like appropriate like the Ottoman rug pattern, but they'll do something like cut out like pieces from like 6 or 7 different like poor emulations of Ottoman patterns and like rearrange them in like glitchy sort of ways to make it look like
Right.
modern. I don't know.
but also glitchier simply because of the fact that it was like a lower pixel print.
Yes.
They just wanted to save money.
Yeah.
This one looks fine to me. It's actually very. It's not quite my taste, but it's very close.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this.
yeah.
This is actually one of the few ones that doesn't suck like all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
what do you?
like-
I am
like-
thinking of getting chairs. What do you guys think of that type of chair? I've been thinking about something with wooden arms and legs rather than something that.
I think that
completes,
kind of
but-
chair is fine as long as you don't have the pleating that it has. You know what I mean? Like just get it in smooth texture.
I don't know.
If you
yeah,
did wooden arms and legs, that would be fine.
So here's my thing. I think the wooden arms and legs look better, but the reason that I want to get a chair like that is to put next to my bookshelves.
Yes.
Like I want
reading.
books. I want I want exactly. I want things to sit in to read, and so they have to be comfy.
Oh yeah, maybe forego the wooden.
Fuck you! I'm getting a
arms then.
beanbag.
Yeah. Keep going.
I already
down.
have an indoor hammock.
We don't need to talk
Piece of
about
shit.
things we like. Warm up with a smoked eggplant color palette.
I was gonna say I like this until it said eggplant color palette.
Yeah.
And now I can't like it anymore.
Kind of
Yeah, I kind of liked it until I looked at the
whatever that
chair
love seat
couch love
thing
seat
is.
thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a
and-
bunch of still shots of porn. I think that's what
Yeah,
it is.
well, yeah. Actually, what I thought the fabric was, the texture is a panic attack.
Yeah. Not great.
That's like a therapist who like hangs a shingle at their own house. You know?
Right.
That's if it isn't something that's like entirely like old fashioned and Victorian, it's something like this that just has kind of like dark and like foreboding kind of vibes, kind of subdued. Anyway.
Yeah,
which
I
makes it sound like something that I should have in my home.
Yeah.
Yeah, except it looks like a
but-
bad quilt.
Yeah, what it makes me think of is, it makes me think of, again, a therapist, but it's the kind of therapist that eventually tries to convince you to sleep with their husband or wife, but it happens late enough in that it's a total surprise.
Actually,
Like you-
Danko,
Huh.
you know what this
Is it
looks
the
like to
Ganymede
me,
thing?
which might trigger you a little bit.
Oh,
This
fuck
looks
you.
like a
What is
wall
it?
of paint swatches.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
see? Yeah. I triggered you.
That's why it looks like a panic attack to me. I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead and scroll down, John.
but yeah, it's a swinger love seat that's not a swinger love seat.
Yeah.
That's not an ad? That's
Nope. Make a
it's the
statement
color
with
of the
the color
year.
of the year 2022, which is lavender, I think.
It's a nice color.
Yeah.
Pantone.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice color. Pantone.
It's a Pantone. Yeah.
Every year comes out with a color of the year, and this makes a bunch of designers like try to design a bunch of shit based
And
around it.
frankly, they pick really nice colors. Like I
Of course they
remember,
do.
I forget how long it's been, but I remember when I was working selling paint, they picked this really gorgeous aqua one year and this like nice forest green another year, and I really love those colors. I love purples too, so I mean that
We
looks
made a
great, but-
Swedish connection here.
Yeah, take inspiration from Swedish country house style.
That's
I don't know what to
fine.
say about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like yeah, it looks fine.
It's got kind of like a
It looks like a Pasternak.
It just
like a
looks
bed and
very
breakfast
vaguely.
sort of aesthetic.
It looks very vaguely like old and European.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
that's sort of that's what they're going for. It's like coming at like the Swedish thing from like another angle that IKEA does, because I feel like they try to they're
Steal their
also
own
like
culture.
marketing Swedish culture at the same time. Like when you walk in the door, it says hi, it's like hey in Swedish, and they have all of the names of all the different things. They are Swedish or they're meant to look like that, and like a lot of like their food items that they sell. think it's funny that that is like a marketable aesthetic.
Oh, I mean, Americans want to be that so bad. Like
For sure.
some of them. But no, that literally looks. That's a great idea, and I think maybe why I've chosen the. Well, scroll back up really quick. It looks like a painting by Leonid Pasternak. It does. It's like those colors. That's actually great. That's a good interior design choice.
One of the few actually good interior design advices here.
Yeah, is to pick like a type of painter or a specific painter that you really like, and try to kind of match those color feels. Because I think that's what I'm trying to do with my home. Now that I have all these warm lamps and stuff, we can move on.
Last but not least,
it's a Rembrandt.
Wow, with whimsical elements. I don't know what is whimsical about any of this.
It's the crazy. Is that a chandelier?
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it is.
Like a leafy.
It looks like
thing.
That's an Elden Ring boss.
Yeah, right. Yes. This is the Erd tree aesthetic.
I was going to say
you have to light it on fire to get out of the house.
It looks like a high school set version of Midsummer Night's Dream or something like that.
Yeah. So never mind. I take back all my advice. No, I think this looks fine. It's busy. Like that chandelier should probably go.
I don't understand the placement or the intent of. I guess it's a tapestry now that I think about it, but it looked like a rug.
Right, the tapestry with the lamp.
It's only there for the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's placed where it is for the photo. But I don't know. I think that looks kind of nice. I like kind of boxing things out like that. And it like comes down to the right point in the lamp and stuff. I'm not against it.
I mean,
I'm kind of into it.
The couch looks like a torture device.
Yeah, that's true. That looks more uncomfortable than my couch.
Yeah, that couch looks like shit.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know, like something that like in a 1890s health spa fucking gym.
It looks like the upholstering was ripped off of it, and like that's just like a piece of cloth like covering like the framework.
You know what it looks like, and you're right. You
Garbage
are right.
From the attic.
Yeah, it looks like an ethnically ambiguous mummy.
It's just any kind of mummy that has cloth wrappings on it.
It's like I'm not sure if it's Egyptian. It could be, but maybe it's Mayan.
Yeah. So I actually made a fun game for all of us to play.
Can I pee first? This is the first time I'm gonna force this to happen.
If we want to take a bathroom break, which I have a prompt for, go ahead.
Go to the bathroom. You're shitting yourself.
Let's take a quick 5-minute break.
Okay.
We'll be back shortly.
dragging my
Shut
feet.
up. Shut up.
We are
shaking it.
back. Danko, turn your camera back on. Let the people see that beautiful face.
Yeah.
And I gotta finish choking off.
Yeah.
So anyways, I made a little game for it. Let's play a little game. As they say in Saw 1, 2,
Put
3,
on your
4, and
makeup.
5.
Aren't we on 12?
6 and 7.
I have no idea.
9.
And this is called. Go ahead and go to the next link, John.
This is called.
Oh, you gotta go
on
to,
the next link, John. Did you make a power?
You made a fucking
Slideshow.
PowerPoint?
Slideshow in the top right. Click on slideshow.
Nice. Okay.
There we
Fucking
go.
PowerPoint.
So this is a game called Expensive Faucet, Regular Faucet, and it's by me. This is also the rules of the game. We're gonna be
Farrah
shown.
Fawcett one of these?
No. You're gonna be shown 2 faucets, maybe 3 faucets on some slides, and your job is to guess which is the expensive one and which is the cheap one. Because I work in an industry that is very closely aligned with designers, and sometimes I'm
You're
installing
saying really closely aligned with Zionists. It's like, oh,
the Zionists
okay.
and designers, very weird intersection. No, I work in an industry very closely aligned with designers, and sometimes I'm installing things, and I think to myself, why is this worth $1,000 versus this thing that I've just installed over here, which is
I can
worth,
tell you the answer right now.
it's bullshit.
Probably because it's ugly.
Right. So I tried to create mashups of designs that look similar to each other, but one is very expensive versus one being kind of relatively inexpensive. So John, if
But
you
I
could
can't
please
feel their
go
weight.
to the first slide. So this is round 1. Between left and right, and everybody needs to participate here. Which do you think is the more expensive one?
Left.
Yeah, left.
I'm gonna say the one on the right.
All right.
I thought the right first, but I changed my mind to the left.
John, next slide.
What? No, come on. Oh, okay.
What the
Really?
fuck?
Interesting.
Yes. Left
Yeah, I
is
was thinking this-
$340. Right is almost $2,000.
At first,
1910.
All right.
Yeah,
And
the
you
one
know
on the right,
what?
I was thinking at first because it's like more streamlined, but then I thought, no, they're thinking ahead of me. I'm playing a Guess What's in My Pocket game with myself,
Yeah.
where they would be like, no, it's too streamlined. We have to add some stupid bullshit to it.
So I work in a lot of rich people's houses.
Oh,
But-
Mr. Fancy works. for
Yeah.
rich people.
Look, we don't need to hear about your sex work, John.
I was about to say he's a gigolo. Definitely.
Giggle you.
But the company that I work for, we've started to do renovations in extremely rich people's houses. And it is kind of wild that it's like an extremely rich person's like cabinets, right? Like you fucking look at it too hard and the paint will peel off of it.
Right.
All
And
made out of
it-
cheap bullshit.
Yeah, and it's like $60,000 fucking like cabinets and shit. It's wild.
Yep.
And it's everything's extremely hard to fucking like install and shit. Like something that would take you an hour will take 5 fucking hours.
Yeah, that closely matches up with the industry I work in, where I'm doing this all day. But I'm paid for it, and I'm not rushed, so I don't really care. I
Yeah.
just think it's funny how much people are willing to spend on something that like functionally has the same look and design. And the other thing that I really want to note here is that all of the internals of these things are the same.
That's
They're
a
not
horrible movie,
using
by the way.
like diamond cut fucking, I don't know, ball valves or anything like that. It's not special. It's not going to last longer or anything like that. It's just more
Look, we
expensive.
use platinum washers.
Right, which won't do anything.
Nothing at all.
John, go ahead and go to the next slide. All right, we got left or right. Everybody make your picks.
I'm gonna say the one on the left.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the one on the left.
I'm gonna be contrarian and say the one on the right's expensive.
All right. Go ahead and John.
Nice.
We have
I
a
should've
difference. The one on the right is
hung on to the
$500. Very similar design, angular, kind of flat, everything. One on the left is almost $3,000. Pretty much the same design effect.
But like squatter is so probably less effective anyway, like less useful.
Yeah, I
of
mean,
a faucet.
all of these have flow restrictors on them because there are like industry standards for how much like gallons per minute you're allowed to have in a faucet. So they all deliver water the same amount over the same.
I mean, I was just thinking like ergonomically in the sink, but I'm also
Oh,
a very
yeah.
tall person, so like I want, yeah. Or
I
not
mean,
very, yeah.
Actually, I don't know if the one on the left is welded together like the one on the right is, or if it's milled.
I think it's
'Cause I guess
milled.
well, I mean that could be a price difference then.
I mean, yeah, but like, does it change anything?
No. It doesn't
Yeah,
change
exactly.
anything. It's just that you decided to do a hard way to make your faucet.
Yeah.
How many of these are there?
Yeah. It's not like a I guess it's not like it's a high pressure faucet like you were saying.
Go ahead and go to the next one.
Oh God.
So you know, between left and right here, we have very similar design choices here. You know, we've got weird little spout things going on, crossbar spigots, weird droopy dick faucets.
Yeah.
Extremely phallic.
Yeah. So left or right, which is more expensive?
I feel like I'm wrong, but it hurts my wrists looking at the one on the right. So that's the expensive one.
I'm gonna go with the one on the left.
Shut up, Ian.
Yeah.
Look, I doxed him.
I'm gonna go with the one on the left.
All right, go ahead.
Can we bleep that out?
I'll find a way. John, go ahead and yep. Yeah, one on the left.
No.
Yeah,
Just because everything about it looks harder to do.
Yeah, I knew the one on the right was a poor person's vision of what a rich person's thing is.
Wow.
Like, well, yeah, it's like a Trump thing, right?
Yeah,
it's just
I can
it's
see that.
so ridiculous. So I knew I was wrong when I was making the choice, but it hurt to use it. So
oh, what the fuck?
This round, we call this the swan round.
My God.
Which is faucets that look like swans for some reason.
Oh my God.
Two
you
of
have
these are
three
fundamentally
choices.
identical. Well,
Yeah.
at least the faucet.
You have three choices. Left, middle, and right. Please, everyone, make your decisions.
Okay, you have to make one clarification. Are two of them pretty expensive and one of them's cheap? Are two of them cheap and one is really expensive? You can't pull shit on us.
There's a third option.
They're all really expensive. They're all really cheap.
They're extremely
Yeah,
expensive.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
Are they made by the same person? Because they both have like the same...
They're all
No.
different manufacturers. I have seen
Really?
all three of these in person, and I wanted to shoot myself every time.
So these bolts that are on the side of this one and the bolts that are on the side of this is just a trade standard for fucking horrific swan fucking faucets.
Yes, sir.
For MGR faucets. Yeah, I mean it's there's no way that you develop like a poor person version of this, right? Like none of them can be.
Yeah, no.
Unless it's the one on the right.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the poor
like
person.
your parents would accuse
that's-
you of being on hard drugs if you had a faucet like this.
And you probably would be.
Yes, you definitely are, but you're on coke because that costs a lot of money, and you've got a lot of money.
Not crack.
All right, so
Coke.
guys, left, middle, or right, make your choices.
This hurts me, but I'm gonna say the one on the left.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was gonna say one on
Yeah.
the left. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
I'm working with the team
it's
here.
the derpiest.
All right, go ahead, John.
the middle.
It's actually the one in the middle, which is still at $3,000.
That's not how math works.
Yeah, no, the one on
That's
the
not
right.
how math works. That's the cheapest one.
Well, yeah, it is the one on the left is consistently the most expensive.
My brain did a fucked up thing.
Yeah,
But no, it's the one on the right though.
But possibly the one on the right.
None of this one doesn't make any sense. You should have thought this one through, Michael.
This one
no,
needs
is
lawyers.
bullshit.
I said the one in the middle is technically the cheapest. The one on the right, like
No,
the
we're
range-
guessing which one's the expensive one.
No, you're supposed to guess
Yes!
which one is the cheapest one.
No, you changed the rules
we've
of the
been
game.
guessing what's the most expensive this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
You changed the
Yeah,
game
yeah.
entirely in a very confusing way.
sorry.
Yeah,
I thought I had explained that we were guessing which one was the cheapest. I apologize
I don't
for
know.
that.
How many of
Yeah.
the 20 shots in are you?
Not that many actually.
Deebsy.
That
That's
was
what the
that was a
problem is.
genuine miscommunication, I think.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
The
We have-
Deebs I know would never make a mistake.
Yeah, not me. We have one last grouping.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
So we have on the right this very matte black with valve handles, exposed pipe faucet. And
Designer
then
on the right.
On the left we have a bunch of copper fittings and some flat black spray paint.
The Rust-Oleum. Yeah, no, it's the one on the right that's more expensive.
No, it's the one. It's probably the one on the left.
It has a can of Rust-Oleum.
The one on
Next
the
to it.
left.
I mean, that
has
wasn't
to-
even my
has to
reason
be,
for it,
has to be welded.
I think.
Okay,
I,
right, left.
I
What do
think
we
you're
got?
wrong for that one, my guy. I think it's the one on the right that's
Yeah.
more expensive.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yep.
It's actually
Oh,
the
it
one on
is,
the
okay.
left is super cheap. And you can achieve the same effect for $80 that you would spend $340 for the exposed pipe, flat black, spray painted designer pick.
Did we
I mean, this is also
track?
assuming that you know how to solder water pipes, though, too, right?
It's not that hard, man.
I know it's not that hard, but I mean, a lot of things that you think aren't
Look,
that hard or
labor
fuck up all
value
the
is the
time.
only value. John is right. Okay.
Wow, based
Marx is defending John on this, and
Yeah.
from the grave.
Yeah.
from the grave.
Is that it?
Are we done?
That
Now-
Good night.
now-
Take my medicine. Take John's
No,
too.
no. We have to look at
please
couches
take
now.
yours. Oh
Oh.
yeah, we're getting me a couch.
Yeah. So first off,
Holy shit, that's a lot of
And,
links.
and look how many links we have.
well, we don't have to spend a lot of time on each couch, but I do want to spend some time on this next link, which is
What's
this shower system, which
It's an IUD.
yes. This inflexible shower system which mounts on your shower wall, and it costs $18,000.
19,000. We can round up at that point.
$19,000. Yeah.
That's
Look how
Money.
close to the wall you have.
I call this.
Yes.
I call this one. Neo Buchenwald derives from the future.
yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't have a flexible shower head or anything like that. You have to stand extremely close to it, but it does have lights above it.
So
it's-
this is the Control Society concentration camp I brought up.
Yeah.
For,
Yep.
yeah, for
This
the rich.
probably produces a gas that puts you to sleep. But yeah, keep going through.
Oh,
the,
it's got modes.
yes, it's got
Mhm.
modes. All of them you have to stand very close
Oh.
to the wall
Oh.
for.
That one
That
you
one
might be
sprays
able to
your
stand
body
a foot and a
down.
half away.
Yeah.
How do you do like a clitoral stimulation with this kind of a shower setup? I don't understand.
Yeah, how do you do a
You
cloacal
don't,
stimulation?
but in this picture we see that you can have two in a shower.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck
So
yeah.
for the low
The-
cost.
I
of,
love that it's designed for
38,000.
people.
This is
Yeah.
a public shower installation that's being marketed towards the rich.
Yeah, it's
wild.
I love that it's being marketed as shower heads that you put into the room of yours that is also a shower.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
This is my
god,
shower.
no.
you
They
could
shouldn't
do
have colored
LEDs.
lights.
Yeah.
This one seems kind of sexual.
Yeah, that's it pissing on you.
I'm gonna say though. I'm gonna say.
Oh Jesus.
Apart from this just being a really expensive version of those shitty like press showers that they have at the beach. This, if I ever make it to be fantastically wealthy, I'm gonna buy like 30 of these because it's gonna be fucking funny to have
All
a
right,
room.
well, now we're watching the video.
Ooh,
damn!
I was wondering if he's gonna shower with his clothes on.
Do we need to censor this one too?
This looks like the beginning to a
Madison
gay
Cawthorn comes
porno.
into fucking.
Why are there so many knobs?
Well, there's all those different settings, all of
Yeah.
which you have to stand extremely close to the wall for.
So you need to take a fucking class to
Well, there's
like,
indicators on the knobs. Don't be obtuse, John.
Yeah,
This is
you have
this
to
is
take a class
ridiculous.
and you have to be 4'6".
Yeah, that's the other thing is, this is extremely fixed to the wall, and if it's not designed for your height, you're gonna have some problems.
Yeah.
Oh, it does come with LEDs.
Yeah, no, I wasn't bullshitting,
Which
man.
is
It
the-
has
maybe
color
the most-
options.
Also, that's a little well, I'm sure this is different. This is a different one, but the one that he was showering under, that was a little crooked on the wall, wasn't it?
Probably.
I think that this has a pretty broad market though. My first thought is like very like moneyed
Perverts.
burners in California
Yeah.
Right.
are definitely super into this idea of having like a little like metal halo over their head, like pulsing LED lights. My first thought on that is just-
halo that gives me a blowjob.
It's a $24,000 shower head.
Sure, but that's the kind of demographic that will just piss money on anything. So
Yeah.
And yet they're the people
Yeah.
that won't piss in the shower.
Yeah, it's like if you have a fantasy
They
about
will.
like
They do.
fucking in space prison showers or something.
I mean, who doesn't have that fantasy though?
As Carly says in the comments, rich people hate water pressure. It's true.
That is kind of true. It's confusing.
So yeah, we need to buckle down on the subject that Danko needs a new couch.
Rich people have never been shot by a riot cop. Water cannon.
John has
Learned
jumped
to
ahead of
fetishize it.
everything, and he's clicked
To
on the
the-
first couch link.
the jouch.
Well, the third couch
The
link?
jeech?
No.
no,
Jocha?
it's the first, it's
Jofa?
the first couch
the
link.
nouch.
So I get in trouble for not paying attention to the cues. You give me cues that are not cues.
See, this is what it feels like to be autistic.
Yeah. Welcome to being neurodivergent, John.
Do you want me to explain the
Jeez.
joke?
Probably.
So how do you feel about this couch?
I think it's is it a jouch or a jofa? Because I think it's a jofa.
It
Does say
Tifa?
sofa, so yes, it's a jofa. Sorry.
it reminds me of like the shitty, depressing like things about living in the South. Like to me, this just screams like church lady ass. Like,
Right.
What's wrong with church lady ass?
I mean, but like,
Yeah,
like
you never fucked
like
the church lady?
no, not like the nice church lady. The like, I don't know, the church lady who is this couch.
Oh,
She's the one
okay.
that needs to get
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, it
Um,
probably improve
it-
everything about this.
It
A
makes me
big,
think of a 90s cartoon.
Big Nashville energy, like some like third-rate country star kind of has this in like his like foyer or like whatever. You're like walking into his place. That's like the first thing you see with the denim couch.
I can't stop thinking of this being in the like the living room of a Rocco's Modern Life character.
Yeah, I could see that, or like a
Yeah.
lesbian PE teacher or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. We synthesized it all, I think.
Yeah.
I
right.
don't like it.
All right,
But
this,
I
one
don't
didn't,
get it.
this one didn't work for you. I'm sorry. I've picked out a
No.
couple of other couches, so let's go.
It's
on
only
to the next
$2,000. Oh, dude, I've been seeing these all over the place. I don't get it.
one. So this is the
Crazy.
Eileen 150-inch wide modular corner sectional.
And what
it
they
looks-
mean is it's a gamer. It's a gamer.
I was going to say the
PC,
same exact
but in
thing.
a
It looks
couch
like one of
form.
those, like a couch version of one of those gamer chairs.
Yeah.
It's a new sofa brought to you by Alienware.
I mean, it's got some cool side storage options there that John's looking at now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but why not just have them like
So-
be made of wood?
I thought this was a 3D rendering. Like that's
no,
how
this
like
is a real
that's how
couch, John.
it looks cheap and uncomfortable.
Oh,
like-
okay.
Yeah,
It does. I'm sorry. It looks like
and it's made of vinyl, right? Like that's definitely vinyl.
No,
Yeah.
that's leather. It says black, white leather.
Yeah.
But is it going to say somewhere in like the like hidden somewhere that it's made of PU leather or something?
Probably, without a doubt.
Big, but it could also it could be made entirely out of like really expensive leather. I mean, I could. In
I
fact
mean,
see
it
being
is
the case.
$6,000. So
Actually, yeah, only on sale it's 6,000.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be 8,000.
supposed to be 8,000.
And there's
Ooh,
only
yeah.
8 left in stock. So if this is going to be the one,
Oh,
spring on it.
Don't.
I
add
gotta
that to
buy
cart,
8 of them.
John.
So the thing about these is that they are so offensive that they, with some kind of tweak, almost move to the other end, which is not to say in any way that I empathize with people who would buy something like this, because they seem like the worst people I could imagine. But I could see having some kind of weird individual style where you have like a TV stand that's similar to this, that's all like teched out and bizarre, that kind of works for the rest of the room. I would still find it pretty repulsive.
The thing that
but
it
could work for
has
someone.
on the thing that it has on like IKEA, not to keep
Uh-huh.
beating a dead horse here.
Is that this
Uh,
makes you think of Mass Effect, which is a fantastic game.
Yeah, okay. It makes me think of Mass Effect, which is
Yeah,
one
I
of the
could
best
fucking
games
alien
ever.
on that couch.
I was also going to say
it wouldn't
at
even
least
stain.
it's attempting to express something, like it's attempting
right.
to
Yeah,
convey
yeah.
some type of personality. It's an insufferable personality, but at least it's a personality.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Is if you
This is
had
the
one
Elon
piece
Musk
of
of
furniture that was like
couches.
this. It's, you know what? I just changed my mind. I like this couch. And it makes me horny.
Oh.
It makes me so horny I could impregnate a Krogan.
Like this
Damn.
is just about
That's really
like the
important.
polar opposite.
If they're
of
infertile.
what, like,
That's the whole joke. I built up
this
to
is
that.
this is about like the complete inverse of what I'm actually interested in terms of furniture. But
Yeah.
that's why I can at
Yeah.
least at some basic level respect its existence. I don't respect the price tag. I think it's fucking absurd.
Yeah.
If you spend $6,000 on a couch, whether it's on sale or not, you're an asshole. Like that's just that.
Right. It's
So-
and looking at
okay.
the monthly price,
It
You-
does
you
look durable
could-
though.
Yeah, it does.
Like which is different from like most rich people stuff.
right.
Like
But-
this is what happens when rich people's stuff is durable. Like,
But
it
but I
becomes
bet if you owned
indestructible
this
and-
couch,
and
it
cum
may be
resistant.
durable, but I bet if you own this couch, you would be fucking pissed if someone got a stain on it.
Yeah.
I mean, what would they spill? Like hydrochloric acid?
right.
Well,
Like-
yeah, you're,
like-
if
Yeah,
you're
it's,
making
it's
meth.
either a couch
Yeah.
that no one is allowed to sit on, or it's a couch that everyone is like freebasing drugs on.
Yeah,
It's
like
one of the
like,
two.
Like this is a couch,
and you're in
for-
La Jolla either way.
Yeah, like
but
if you have this couch, you're a 16-year-old millionaire
Yeah.
son.
yeah,
living in
yeah,
the guest
yeah,
house.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
exactly. Every rich kid like that I knew in Southern California would have killed someone for this couch and wouldn't have had to. They would just do it as like a part of their daily routine. They would kill someone and then their dad would buy them one of these couches. But yeah. And I totally agree with what C said about it being so foreign as to be almost respectable. Because yeah, I want everything to be made out of glass, wood, metal, done, leather probably. I use a lot of like synthetic leather, but like not LEDs and like plastic and shit.
Sure.
It bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I have
a
a
soft like the
soft
best
spot.
quality LEDs.
I have a soft spot for a lot of like old antique furniture that's upholstered with like velvet. It's just, yeah, like wood and dark velvet is just chef kiss, like beautiful. Love it.
I think it's great. I love seeing that kind of thing in other people's homes. And if you have that in your home and you're a lady or an attractive man, I'll probably have a crush on you. There's a thing that I have, but I wouldn't have it. The velvet thing.
Furniture that conveys sex appeal in like an old timey sort of way is definitely
like a velvet upholstered chair makes sense for someone that has like a lot of house plants and some like really niche posters or vinyls or something, or like tapes, like someone here. Like all of that makes sense together. Which I'm bordering on being one of those people, but I'm not.
Sure. You're from what I've seen of your place, it's just a little too like haunted. Overtly academic.
Oh yeah. Also that.
Yeah, it's a haunted professor's office. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put a pin in this one. We'll put that down as a maybe.
What the fuck?
How do you feel about this one?
I want to drive it.
You're a Tool fan, so you should like this.
I'm not sure how that works out, but
this is just kind of a little cheesy, like
it's the Pussifer love seat.
I was about to say, like, I imagine this in the home of like a self-important libertarian, which I ascribe to the personalities of most Tool fans, except I guess Danko.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm also a Tool fan, so I didn't make it there.
I'm also a Tool fan.
Yeah. Well, I've seen them twice. So
let me tell you.
I saw them 1.5 times. One of those times I was on so much.
I've worked for them.
Mushroomsing.
I worked for them. I was a stagehand for them many years ago in Boston, and I wasn't a fan of them before I worked for them, and I wasn't. I have found more ways to hate them since then. So
their fans that's why people hate Tool.
No, like I totally get the hate. And I kind of hate Tool fans too.
Yeah.
But like I can imagine not wanting to listen to Primus, but I can't imagine disliking Primus until you meet someone that likes Primus.
I love Primus.
I mean, I like him too. I like anything with like a bunch of slappy bass, but if you're stuck in a room full of Primus fans,
that's insufferable. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the guy that puts on Primus at a party.
So we need to keep it on focus here.
Yeah,
we're a hard no on this one. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
unless I decide to become a libertarian politician.
This is a restaurant booth seat. Anyway.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Yeah,
welcome to the Primus restaurant.
It was kind of a wild card pick. A wild card pick. So let's go ahead and go to the next. How do you feel about this one?
Fucking sweet.
The Senta couch.
I made a joke about doing this in my head the other night, where I was like, "This couch that I bought." I can't remember if it was $250 or $300. But if I really wanted to waste fucking money, I could buy a bunch of these and just fucking have them wrapped around my living room. Yeah. And how funny would that be?
Pretty hilarious. So, if you ask me.
I mean, it would be pretty fucking funny, I think. So this couch appeared to me in a dream, is what I'm saying.
John, could you go to the first picture again? So we have
and here's the thing.
3, 4, 8 seat couch.
Seat.
Yeah.
If it was 3, I'd like it. I like the wooden legs. I like the shape of the legs. I like the
Okay.
general shape of the cushions and everything. I
All
think
right.
this is a
like
decent
if you
couch.
like owned like a mid-weight expensive salon in like northern New Jersey, you would have this sofa in your establishment, your place of business.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right.
this is like that millionaire 16-year-old kid's dad's couch.
Yeah.
That is
So
like
the
at his dentist's office or something.
I've received 3 stylistic burns over the last like month and a half since I've moved and have been speaking to people about my furniture choices and whatnot. I guess this is also applied to other things that I own. But one person, well, we'll start off with what C said, which is that it's something like a divorce attorney's office. Which is funny, and I agree. One person saying, and I've been avoiding this. This has been the type of bullying that leads to be like a guidepost in your life. So I really appreciate this one.
Of course.
But someone saying that the chairs I was looking at looked like things that belong in waiting rooms. And I was like, oh, fuck. All right, fine. I don't want it to look like a nice dentist's office.
Yeah. I mean, like this would be like the Rock's dentist or something, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Like classy
Like-
dentist.
Yeah, just waiting to have plastic surgery kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the other one is you look like a nice watch Dom guy, which
Not
is
great either. Yeah.
not great, functionally correct, and I hate it. So I would like to move away from all of those.
All right. Well, we'll put
But
this
this kind
down
of hits
as
all of
another
them, though.
another maybe, and we'll go on to the
Yeah,
next.
can you buy part of it? Oh, I've seen this one. I've seen ads for this one.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
The reason
this
you
is,
saw ads for this one, and I tried not to give it away, is because John had to click on all the links I gave him, and you're getting ads for this one because of.
I've seen them before
Oh,
this shit.
oh well,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was going to say
no, it wasn't in
the
that. I
marketing
saw it
herpes
on.
spread fast.
I saw it on that crazy house or whatever. It's an Instagram
Oh,
page
okay.
that has
Yeah,
like
what the
ad-
crazy house?
What the Crazy House. Very fun page. They
Yes.
have like bad design choices, bad construction choices, things like that. It's charming.
So John, if you
yeah.
could go back to the first image,
This one is
Excuse me.
this one is so offensive. If someone
There we
gave it
go.
to me or I could get it on the cheap, I would.
oh okay, well, click the X in the
How
top right
much
there,
is it?
John. $77,892.
Of course it is. Of course.
Wow.
I could probably do this, I think.
Yeah, but you'd have to get the parts. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You'd have to
I-
buy a bunch of like leopard skin and shit.
No,
I was gonna say-
I live in
You have to kill an
Texas.
elephant.
I was gonna say-
we have exotic hunting ranches.
I was about
Okay.
to say
Go shoot
there
a
are like
zebra.
there are ibexes, there are giraffes, there are all kinds of there are ostriches all over Texas, and so I can't imagine zebras not being in Texas. And I also can't imagine that there's someone in Texas who has zebras that doesn't want to charge you money to shoot them.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
you can. They like
Yeah.
they're they have the like. Of course, there's a lot of zoos in Texas, but
Okay.
there's also a lot of exotic hunting ranches.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if
no, I
you
could get all
made-
this shit.
If you made $40 an hour and you worked for a year, and your job was killing the animals to make this sofa, after 1 year, you'd be able to make this sofa.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's like 3 animal or no 4.
Yeah,
You
there's
got
a
at
lot of
least
animals in
a
there.
zebra.
4 to 6.
I see a zebra, I see a moose, and I
Yeah.
see gazelle horns.
Yeah.
That's got to be 3 at least.
Bull horns
Bull horns. Okay,
for the
4.
arms right here.
Yep.
Snake.
What's this down here?
Uh,
That's a tail.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a zebra tail, which is weird.
So
Yeah,
4. Yeah.
um,
No, this is like this is a slow week a slow weekend hunting in Texas.
This is part of the Hearst Castle.
Okay. Well, probably.
I was gonna say like Alan Quartermain, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This is that's what I think of when I see this.
This is the libertarian.
All right, so we've got a couple of maybes so far. We've got a couple of maybes, and I think this is the first DIY. So we'll put down this as a DIY option.
DIY, or I find it in a dumpster, and that I'm like really eager to get it.
Yeah. All right.
Like if I have to beat someone up in order to get it, then I'll get it. But if I have to buy it, I won't.
Okay, fair enough.
This is crazy.
Hell yeah.
It almost rules though.
This is dope as fuck.
I was gonna say like this is definitely like I hate this one the least, but it's still not. There's something that feels off about it.
If someone invited me into their home and it was set up with that, and there was like a hookah and they offered me some heroin, I would think they rule. I mean, it just seems like a fun place to party and hang out.
Yeah.
I wish I had that energy. I don't.
I do like that's basically
I had the energy
cushion.
to do heroin.
That's basically cushion.
Yeah, they're just cushions.
Yeah.
Like some Middle Eastern households like make a whole room out of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is cool. But again, like, yeah. I'm about that lifestyle, but I can't do it stylistically. That's my problem. That's my problem.
It has I'm gonna say it's the thing that really sends it for me is like the colorways are really cool and contrasting. Like the white walls. I don't know, like I like to see I like whitewashed Mediterranean style buildings, and so seeing like bright primary colors contrast that I don't know, that's at least in the palette it's appealing.
Like I like this, but I think that I'd want it in earth eggplant tones, you know.
Smoked eggplant tones.
Smoked eggplant.
Yeah,
bespoke eggplant, that's what they said. Bespoke eggplant.
Did they really? Is that what they said? Oh my god. Yeah, I'd fuck in that room and or take illicit drugs.
Okay, so we'll put that down as another maybe. Go ahead and go to the next one, John.
Oh yes.
Okay, all right. Immediate yes for the small price of $7,500.
I'd pay tenfold that for the hot dogs.
This is what maybe looks like an open hot dog bun with a hot dog lined with mustard only.
It's got that scoliosis spine contour.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
I think that's
two
a
things.
tapeworm, actually.
Okay.
So two things. Mustard
tapeworm
is the only necessary, though generally not the only hot dog condiment. You can survive with mustard and nothing else, but generally you would want something else. You can't just do relish.
I was about to say you've lived in and around the Great Lakes area before.
Right.
And that's like the home of decking the shit out of your hot dog, you know.
Well, the home of decking the shit out of your hot dog, but also, these more Germanic people understand the value of bread, sausage, and mustard.
Sure,
it comes with condiment throw
That's
pillows.
fun. But the second thing though is that that hot dog, is it a detachable body pillow that I can cuddle?
Yes. Yeah. No.
Okay.
The hot dog is its own separate pillow from.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well. All right.
But actually, scroll back. So what are the things we're able to put onto it? Because if
a pickle and a tomato. Which is
okay, so it is actually on its way to being a Chicago dog.
Right.
You do need the celery salt, which is going to be really difficult to handle here. But so long as we can get that and the poppy seeds, yeah.
I was going to say
celery salt.
I was going to say like off-green packing peanuts.
Yeah.
So it does require some things, but I think I could make it work.
Okay. All right.
And Oh,
then we have a yes, at least. But let's keep going.
But also,
through
that's not the kind of pickle you want on there. That's
no, it's not.
that's
But
confusing.
it's more
Anyway,
symbolic, I think.
I get it.
This is like what I imagine a hot dog from Japan would be like.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
No pickle, but whole.
Yeah. A
right.
cucumber.
Next one.
What am I
Let's
looking
go ahead
at?
and zoom in on that. Yeah.
It's got that,
that
Oscar
did not
the Grouch
clarify anything.
shake.
This is
Right.
horrific.
What
no,
if couch but mold?
This is the Earth represented in a couch, guys.
Your mom's the earth represented on couch.
Oh shit! You got me there.
So this
No.
is the counseling chair for a rich person's pediatric psychiatrist.
Go ahead and scroll
There
through
you
some
go.
of the images.
You know who this
so-
is? This is the therapist that's going to experimentally prescribe you ketamine.
Yeah.
There's this new drug out for the last 30 years.
Well, on the West Coast, there is some like experimental trials with ketamine on people
Oh, of
that
course there
have
are.
trauma. So like that.
So how do we feel about this couch, though?
No, it
I
reminds
can-
me too much of doing salvia in the woods.
I can feel the lack of fucks that the sweatshop worker had
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
when they made it.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're paid 2 cents extra to pretend
up.
they don't give
Yeah.
a fuck.
To fuck it up in a cool way.
Yeah.
All
it's
right, so I guess this
but
is
I
a
don't
hard
give a
no.
fuck. No, you got to pretend harder. Yeah. No, it's not going to happen. I'm
Let's
sorry.
let's go ahead and hit up the next one.
I don't like the asymmetrical
Oh.
inconsistency.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's just a slip cover, Deebsy boy. That's
Yes,
not a
I wanted to
couch.
present this option to you that you can take the couch you have now.
No,
and you
but
can
that's
just
not the
cover
problem
it
with
in
my current
something.
couch.
You
It-
could,
it
hey, you
would-
know
it
what?
would improve
You
my
could,
couch. It would.
Danko, you could put that slip cover on every section of that Arabic styled floor couch. And
There you
Oh, I
go.
thought you were going to say
less.
the really long one.
But you'd still pay less than just buying any of these other couches. You could have
Yep.
like a Guy Fieri, like hot rodded out version of that floor couch
I
for
like how
less
you
than
pronounce
anything
his name
else
right.
here. Huh?
and whenever it's because
You
he's Italian.
fuck.
But whenever you have a lady over, you could be like, "Hey, you're in the flavor zone now, baby." You know.
But here's the thing with this that makes me uncomfortable. It's a hot couch. It turns you into a hot couch guy.
yeah,
So match all
And-
your bowling shirts, Danko.
right.
It's gonna match my pet lizard and my microwave pizza rolls.
So-
I was gonna say you
Thank-
definitely had a pair of boxers at some point in your life with this texture on it.
Oh, I
Speaking
definitely had a
of,
shirt like this.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
it was funny as fuck.
Speaking
Uh,
of
but-
porn couches, Danko, I love that your blur effect on your camera is blurring your mic, so it kind of looks like like a
Oh man,
like a-
that's,
yeah. There you go.
not when you jerk it off. It cleans it
No,
up.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So we're a no on the slip cover. We have
Yeah,
one
sorry,
last
man.
one to look at.
That's a
that
chandelier, Michael.
Made out of armadillo. What the
Is
fuck?
it made
Real
of-
crocodiles.
Oh, that's
Oh,
crocodile.
That is sorry to use the same joke again, but it works. That is a Soulsborne boss.
Okay.
That's
well,
that is yeah.
some would call it a
that's-
cool couch worth maybe $90,000.
It's the
shit.
the ruddy version of the Godskin Apostle duo.
Godskin Apostle with a sepia tone filter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, hold on though.
You can kind of see some of the crocodile's anus coming out of the like where the cushion and the top meet.
The price is
It's a
awful,
cloaca.
but it's so ugly and interesting that if I owned an extremely upscale goth club, this would absolutely be in the lounge.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say before you zoomed in on it, before I got a closer look at it, it looks like have you ever seen one of those beds that just has like a veil or like a drape that's coming down from like a conical frame? Before I realized that was an alligator's tail, I thought it was like something like that.
I actually thought it was going to be the same thing. But have you ever seen one of those beds that's actually like one of those Murphy beds that close up into a crocodile's asshole?
No, I don't think I have.
I got lightheaded thinking about that. That rules. It's like an Alice in Wonderland thing.
Gives me the vapors. All right, so we only had one hard yes, which was the hot dog couch. So.
Fuck, I have to get the hot dog couch?
Yeah.
What about the long couch? Can I get the
well,
long couch? How long is the long couch?
Find
me the long couch.
However many long 8 seat cushions is.
Yeah, it should have
500. Okay.
Yeah, it didn't really have dimensions, which, you know, if you're buying something like this, maybe you're not concerned about dimensions.
I guess so. It's like you have a bowling alley in your house.
Yeah.
But no, I have that obscenely long connected like dining living room.
Yeah.
So I could
just extend this from the living room.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's on sale, 6,500 out of 81.
Yep.
Send me the link, John.
Cool. Well, the link is in
the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me the link.
It's been sent.
We'll send that later. We have one last link to look at, which is
no.
You know, normally we'd have a palate cleanser, but we didn't really look at anything like too atrocious.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
like women just losing their rights, so nobody cares about that.
Yeah. But here we have Jordan Peterson talking about something which is very important to him on a deeply emotional level.
It's abortion.
No. It's Jordan Peterson still not being able to manage his tears.
I thought it was going to be like a coming of age story when he was in Canada Scouts.
No, this is just Jordan Peterson can't manage his tears. Go ahead and play it, John.
And you think, well, we're going to destroy the planet. We have to do this. We have to demoralize the youth to be ethical. It's like, yeah, really, that's your theory? You're going to demoralize young people to be ethical? That's your theory? It's like, you should go home and think about that for like a year. And I'm passionate about this, because you have no idea how many people that's killing. You have no idea. I see people everywhere, all over the world. They're so demoralized, especially young people with a conscience, because they've been told since they were little that there's nothing to them but corruption and power. It's like, how the hell do you expect them to react? I shouldn't do anything then, And you think,
wow.
Beat up nerds.
Yeah.
Bully nerds. Yeah. Put them all in lockers. Fuck them.
Jordan Peterson's argument here is you're demoralizing the youth. And the way that the youth are being demoralized is that they're being told to recognize that things are at stake. And that's depressing.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Deebs. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that when you're dealing with young people, you can't explain to them that power is the center of existence as if just because someone's able to tell you what to do to demoralize you, that has any impact on your life. And rather, what we need to do is make sure that we place power structures and hierarchies into play to demoralize people who step out of line, like people who want to attain gender affirmation or stop working at Domino's or ask me for a refund on my lecture circuit.
And that impression has gotten weaker the longer you have to go on.
You should practice it more. You know, he was on the podcast once and you missed it.
Yeah, you did.
Really?
You did miss that episode.
That's crazy. I mean, I know I don't have a strong Jordan Peterson, but maybe next time he comes on, I'll try to.
You aren't able to replicate his brassy, deep, loin-shaking voice.
Yeah, yeah, I know it.
So a couple of
tenor for him.
Yeah,
a couple of quick things to note here, which is nobody should start crying over what he's talking about.
What is he talking about? I can't follow it.
Yeah, that was confusing to me at first too. I think you can, but the thing is that he's so confused about this because I taught K through 8, right? And I do feel emotional thinking about like how demoralized children are and stuff like that. I think that is a really important point that he starts off with. But then he gets into this whole like he tries to target it all into this weird like it's because the postmodernists have taught us that everything is about power relations, which is we're not going to get into that, but he does it all to build a straw man to cry about, which is the goofy thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He creates this thing that makes him so emotional that he needs to start crying about it. Yeah. Literally crying.
And it's like he's talking about, you don't know how many people that's killed. And it's like, yeah, I can think of a few trans people that being demoralized growing up has killed. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, and his huge thing is, you're demoralizing people who want to do good by saying the climate is in danger, and by saying that you're demoralizing them and making them depressed, and so now they're killing themselves or they're dying because of that. And it's like, is that really the problem, or is the problem like actually that we're destroying the environment and making this bad for ourselves?
They keep telling the children that they can't, if they try their hardest, find the sweet shadow side of the Jungian pussy. And instead they think that everything is the panopticon. And I just don't know what to do other than kill myself.
Right. And, We have a podcast where we talk about depressing
We have a podcast?
subjects. We do have a podcast where we talk about depressing things all the time. And I don't think any one of us has ever been driven to tears, despite the fact that we feel very strongly about a lot of these subjects.
I mean, none of us have like burnt out the emotion centers on our brains with
like catastrophic amounts of benzos.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm a man, so I only feel rage.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good. Very happy for that. Anyways, that's all we have for the podcast. Danko, before we go, do you have any pitches you'd like to press upon the people?
What?
You heard me.
No,
pitches, go.
I made an Instagram for the workshop. You should follow it. It doesn't have anything worth following yet, but do it now because you're friends, because you love us. It is Trincata Workshop. So Instagram.com's Trincata, Truncata Workshop. You know how to spell that, I hope. If not, we can do without you. And also on Patreon, patreon.com/Truncata, Truncata. Our ongoing workshop continues tomorrow morning with the delightful Laura Nicholson hosting our Eros workshop. We are also doing some writing specific workshops, as well as workshops attempting to define and explore the fascism. And those will continue on for a few more months. Yeah, they've been very lively discussions. So those are very good. Also, please check out on YouTube or now Spotify, the PAMU, PAMU podcast, or the Philosophy Union podcast, where I was on to talk about some more nitty-gritty details about Deleuze, as well as some other falafel content. Anyway, so check that out. Yeah, I think that's it. I love you.
All right, so Schizotopia has
medicine.
invaded our
What?
chat and says, "That's it, Danko show hole. Tell Danko to show hole. I'll sign up for a the workshop of Danko shows hole. Eros, you know what that's? What's Eros showing hole? That's no. Please don't pull your pants down. No. Oh, Dorian.
Smells
I wanted to
interesting
find
here.
and explore Danilo's hole. Might be a typo. I don't know who Danilo is. I think Schizotopia is drunk.
I think Schizotopia has schizophrenia.
Maybe. C, do you have anything you'd like to pitch?
Let's go.
Nothing immediately. I mean, like, my Instagram is like mostly personal stuff, but I have made a return to performing and organizing live independent music. So
your
if you're
Instagram
interested if you're interested in grindcore or industrial or noise or any kind of like weirdo outsider music, you want to talk about like some funky little cassette you just picked up, hit me up. I'm happy to talk about it.
I'm a funky little cassette. Your Instagram handle is
Sacrilegio, so SACRI.LEGIO.
John, do you have anything?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Nerd.
Typical.
Also, hey, Schizotopia, go on Benzo. Schizotopia, go on Benzo.
If you're gonna come into the DMs, come on the fucking show, bro.
Also, hey, Danko, go on Schizo. For a third time. Third time's a charm. Come on, man. Bring me back. I love you.
Also have Deebs on Schizo.
Don't bring any of us on. Just bring John on.
Yeah. Bring the best of us on.
Fuck that guy.
All right. Well, as always, the Benzo Rehab Dungeon is and always will be a free broadcast. But if you would like to support the making of this broadcast, please go to patreon.com/Benzo Rehab Dungeon. Donate whatever you would like to donate. There are no tiers. There is no benefit to donating, but I like to give that option to everyone.
There will be pictures of my interior design on the Patreon. That's the one thing we offer.
Your
pictures
interior
of my couch
design, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's whole. It's
whole pics. Yeah.
Cool. Well, as we always say as we sign off, we love you.
Shut up.
We love you. Please take your medicine.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Please take mine too.
And save some for your friends.
Cool. And we'll give
Fuck
it a
you.
couple of seconds.
Shut up. Go away.
I hate
stupid pieces of shit. I fucking hate these boring people asking nothing in the chat, demanding I show whole just because I'm sexy and beautiful, and I bathe once or twice every couple months,